Oh, hi. Hello. Hello, friends, and welcome to Average Classes. What I'm doing, I'm trying to blow up a balloon. Okay, so you can see a balloon here, right? Now, what I'll do, I am blowing it, means what is there inside? Air is there inside, upwards. Now, look at this. I'm trying to press this balloon. What you can see? Sir, it is bulging on both the sides, isn't it? It's bulging on both the left as well as the right hand side. That means what? The air which is inside, when I am applying pressure, or I am applying external force, it's traveling in all the directions. Sir, here it's traveling this direction, it's traveling this direction, it's traveling in all the direction, isn't it? That's why today's our topic is we are going to study about Pascal's law. Okay, it's very interesting. Again, before going to Pascal's law, I want to draw your attention towards something. That is, so now you understood liquid exert pressure in all the directions. Okay, liquid, fluid, air, they exert pressure in all the directions. Okay, at any point in a liquid, the pressure is same in all the directions. What does that mean? Okay, let's say I have took a beaker. Okay, I have took a container. This container has liquid up to this. Okay, dot dot dot. La 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 la. Okay, so this is your container which has liquid. Okay, now let me divide this container into two parts. Okay, this is your three parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3. You can tell me where I am having more pressure, which is acting under more pressure. Sir, the first layer is having more pressure. Why? Because the liquid which is supported here is more. Liquid which is supported means what? It's continuously acted upon by नीचे क्या है? What is there down? What is pulling it down? Sir, gravity is pulling it down. Correct. That's why on the first layer the pressure is more, because here you have more weight of the liquid. So similarly, on the third layer the pressure is less. Because the weight of the liquid supported is less. Here the pressure is more because the weight of the liquid supported is more. So that means pressure has something to do with the self weight itself. That means I can tell, because of the self weight of the fluid exerts pressure in all direction. It applies here, it also applies pressure to the container, wall of the container. Okay. The second point, when I say when a liquid in all direction. Suppose I will take a block here. Okay, an imaginary block of liquid. This liquid exerts pressure in all the direction. That's what I meant. Okay, so we now come to know liquid has something to do with its self weight only. Means the pressure of the liquid is nothing but the weight of the liquid supported, because of the weight of the liquid supported. So we have to also study pressure equal to perpendicular force per unit area. Pressure equal to we have studied. Now we'll perpendicular force. In this case, weight per unit area. What is weight? Sir, mass into gravity per area. What is mass? Sir, mass is density into volume into acceleration due to gravity by area. What is volume? Volume, sir, cross sectional area into height h. Let us say this height be h. Okay, A multiply G by area. Area cancel. What you got? Sir, we got pressure is equal to rho G H. Pressure equal to what formula you got? Rho G H. This H is the height of the liquid supported. Rho is the density of the fluid. G is the acceleration due to gravity. For any incompressible flow, the rho into G will be constant. Rho into G is constant. For an incompressible fluid, pressure is a function of head. Pressure is function of depth of the liquid supported. Okay, or depth of the liquid or height of the liquid supported. This only we call it as pressure head. We call it as what? Pressure head. Understood? We call it pressure head. So now pause the video and note it down. Okay, let me erase this. I hope all of you are continuing the lectures. We have already completed module 1, chapter 1. Please go through that. Okay, now see this. Now I want to draw your attention towards this. So already pressure, height, pressure unit and dimension we have discussed. I am not going that. So pressure head. So they may ask you, what is the pressure? What is the pressure? What is the pressure exerted by a water head of 10 meter? A water head of 10 meter, that is the question. What is the pressure exerted by a water head of 10 meter? Only they have given 10 meter means what they have given? H, height is given. Okay, height is given. You know the pressure formula. Pressure formula is rho GH. What is density of water? Sir, 1000 kg per meter cube. What is G? Take for convenience 10 meter per second square. What is H? H is already given 10. So you got 3, 5, right? 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3. This many what? Pascal or Newton per meter square. That is 10 to the power 5 Pascal, or that is how much? 1 bar. So what is the pressure exerted by 10 meter of water head? What is the pressure exerted by 10 meter of water head? 1 bar. 1 bar. Okay. 1 bar. Very good. Very, very good. I hope you have written it. I want to erase this. Now I want to write something else. So we have written P equal to rho GH. What we have written? Pressure P is equal to rho into G into A. What is the unit of rho? Sir, kg per meter cube. What is G? Sir, meter per second square. What is H? Meter. What is H? Meter. Height. So what is kg meter per second square? Sir, kg meter per second square is Newton into meter per meter cube. What is Newton meter? Sir, joule per meter cube. What is the, whose unit is joule? Work. Whose unit is meter cube? Volume. That means I can define pressure as work done per unit volume. I can also define pressure as work done per unit volume. Okay? Pause the video, note it down. Next is your Pascal's law. Okay? Fine. Fast. Let us discuss the Pascal law. What does Pascal say? You know Blaise Pascal. Okay, already I have told you he was a French mathematician. Okay, he has done lot of work in your fluid statics and fluid dynamics category. Okay, he has done tremendous work at a very, very less time. Okay, and he passed away around 39 years of age. Okay, a 17th century's masterpiece. Okay, master sir. Okay, what Pascal's law said? It says okay, pressure at any point in a static, the intensity of pressure at any point in a static fluid is same in all the direction. You might have read about it in your high school or college. Okay, you might have took a wedge like this. Okay, and you would have told, sir, this is the x direction, y direction, then z direction, and you would have told okay, px is equal to py is equal to pz. That's what you might have studied in your high school. If anyone wants the proof of it, please write in the comment section so that I can prove it. Okay, so the pressure at any point in a fluid at rest, that is static fluid at rest, has the same magnitude in all the directions. The pressure is same in all the direction. Okay, next, why Pascal's law is so important is it gave you the principle of transmission of fluid pressure. It gave you the principle of transmission of fluid pressure. What did it say? When a certain pressure is applied, external pressure, at any point it gets equally transmitted to all the direction. For example, I'll take this balloon. External pressure is the pressure what I am giving. This balloon will start blowing with same pressure, isn't it? That means pressure is applying everywhere. Same. Okay. The same amount of pressure is on this wall, everywhere. The pressure is same. Which pressure I gave? I blew it. Means I gave an external pressure. When a certain pressure is applied at any point, then it gets equally transmitted in all the direction and to every point. So in the balloon example, you found out okay, what? The pressure went to all corners of the balloon. All corners of the balloon. You can blow it. See. So the pressure is literally going in all corner of the this balloon, whereas the point of giving pressure is one point only, but the pressure is equally transmitted to everywhere. Okay, everywhere. Similarly, the same thing you will find in liquids. Okay, this we are talking about fluids. Every other point in the fluid, that is principle of transmission of pressure. What does it? One more thing it said. Now this is important. Pascal's law is important. Any points are same elevation in continuous mass of the same static fluid will be of same pressure. Will be of same pressure. What does that mean, sir? Kindly explain. Okay, we are gonna explain this now. That is very interesting. That is very interesting, bhai. Interesting. Okay, now connect it. Connect kar liya? Very good. Bottom. Can you see the bottom is also connected? Okay. Now, everywhere I am taking the fluid. Everywhere I am taking the fluid of same height. I have took the same fluid and the height of the fluid is also same. Okay. Mitwa aaja re sun le pukar tu aaja re thake nahi tera. Okay, so now you can see there are 4 types of container I have. Okay, A, B, C, D. See, everyone, their cross-sectional area is varying. Their cross-sectional area is varying, but the height is same. For all, the height is h, density is rho, density is rho, density is rho, density is rho. Okay, they are having the same fluid and having the same height. Okay, and they are all connected. That means what? Okay, there is a continuous mass of static fluid. Fluid is at rest, mass is continuous. It will see from here to here. The same liquid is there, same liquid is continuing, same liquid is continuing. Okay, so when you have same elevation, same height, okay, in a container, mass of same static fluid will be of same pressure. That means if here I'll ask the pressure at A, pressure at B, pressure at C and pressure at D, all the pressure at all the points are going to be same. That is PA is equal to PB is equal to PC is equal to PD. Isn't it amazing about Pascal's law? Okay, hydrostatic paradox. Even if my height, even if my areas are varying, even if, okay, my areas are varying, cross sectional is varying, because I have the same height and I have the same liquid, a continuous mass of liquid everywhere, what happened? Pressure is same. Pressure is same. It does not depend on the cross sectional area anymore. If you have the same height, you have the same fluid, all are connected, that is a continuous mass of the fluid, then pressure is same. Wow! Amazing! So PA is equal to PB is equal to PC equal to PD. Normally, then people ask, sir, how come it is same? This is vertical, this is some tetrahedral shape, this is also what you call slant downward, this slant upward, slant downward. Then how these all things are same, sir? Pressure. That's what your hydrostatic paradox is. But the answer is also there. These walls are also applying a reaction pressure. Walls are also applying a reaction pressure, which incorporating the pressure which is equivalent to if you take a cylinder also. That is the answer. But anyway, we are not doing that. So pressure at same elevation in continuous mass of static fluid is same. It's same. That's fantastic. I find it very, very nice. Okay, pause the video and note it down, please. Okay. One more thing. So what you can do is you try this. Suppose you take a 2 tubes and connect it. Take 2 tubes and connect it. Start pouring water from one. What you'll see? Okay, both the container pressure will be at same elevation. Both the container, your fluid will be at same elevation. You apply fluid from this side, they will try to rearrange themselves, and after some time you will find they are at same elevation. Correct. What will happen if a fluid doesn't obey Pascal's law? What will happen if a fluid doesn't obey Pascal's law? Then the fluid will rearrange themselves until Pascal's law is satisfied. unless Pascal law is satisfied. Means both of them will come to the same elevation again. Again, one fluid, continuous mass. Again, one fluid and continuous mass. So, fluid will rearrange themselves unless Pascal's law is satisfied. Okay? Chalo, pause the video. Now, note it down. Now, let us apply your Pascal's law. Apply the Pascal's law to a problem. Okay? What it has given? You have a oil. What is the density of oil? Sir, the density of oil is 8000 kg per meter cube. That means a lesser density compared to water. The density of water being 1000 kg per meter cube. Okay? That is poured into a left hand side of a U tube. Till now you don't know the U tube manometer. We'll be studying that in next future classes. So you have a U tube, U-shaped tube, U-shaped glass tube. Okay? U-shaped glass tube. So what you have done? Oil with the density of 800 kg per meter cube is poured into the left hand side of a U tube containing water. So initially U tube here it has some water. You have poured water. You know Pascal's law, I told you, fluid will rearrange themselves until or unless Pascal's law is satisfied. So initially you have water in the tube. Okay, what is the density of water? 1000 kg per meter cube. 1000 kg per meter cube. Let me give you options here so that whoever trying, they can try 1 centimeter, 4 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 2 centimeter. Okay? Water column. Okay. So those who are trying, please try. So now you have started pouring. You have started pouring what? Oil. So you started pouring oil until what happened? Until the oil is 5 centimeter deep. The oil is 5 centimeter deep. This is your 5 centimeter. And what is this? Oil. What is the density of oil given? Sir, 800 kg per meter cube. Now, because you have applied oil, this level water will lift. Let us say it has lifted till this. Let us say it has lifted till here. This height be h. Let it has lifted at the height h because you have added oil on the left hand side of 800 kg meter cube till the depth is 5 centimeter. Now we'll apply the Pascal's law here. So the question is asking determine the difference in between the two water columns. Two water column. See, this is one water column. This is the second water column. They are asking h. They are asking h. Or they can ask what is the height rise in the right hand side tube. Right hand side of the tube. Okay. They may ask what is the height rose in the right hand side of the tube. So they are asking h. Now what Pascal's law said? Okay. If you have uniform liquid, see. This line, so this line, it's a continuous mass. Continuous mass of fluid is distributed. Okay? So Pascal's law says the pressure at these 2 points will be same. That means pressure at point A will be equal to pressure at point B. This pressure, these two pressure will be same. Okay? We know P equal to rho GH. We know P equal to rho GH. So what is the pressure at A? What is your pressure at A? PA is rho oil into G multiply H oil. Okay, pressure at A is nothing but this H of the oil, density and G. What is the pressure at B? Pressure at B equal to rho water into G into H water, this depth. The pressure because of this height. Pressure because of this height. What Pascal's law says? Sir, PA equal to PB. Pascal's law says PA equal to PB. Apply that. PA is equal to PB. Apply that. What you will get? Rho oil multiply G multiply H oil is equal to rho water G and multiply H water. Rho oil 800, G and cancel. Okay. So into H oil 5 centimeter is equal to rho water, sir, 1000 into H water. So this implies H water equal to 800 multiply 5 by 1000, 0000 cancel, 5 1s are 5 2s are 4. What is the answer? What is the height rose in the right hand column? 4 centimeter. What is the difference between two water columns? 4 centimeter. Quite easily done. So PA is equal to here this, the pressure because of this much. PB, the pressure because of this much. ठीक है. But of course we don't use Pascal's law for this. We use Pascal's law for a hydraulic jack. We use Pascal's law for a hydraulic jack. Okay, you want to note it down? Note first. Pause the video and note it down. See, of course, okay, Pascal's law is not extensively used for other stuffs, but Pascal's law is very helpful in a hydraulic jack or a hydraulic lift. Okay, so hydraulic jack or a hydraulic lift. See, what is a hydraulic jack? Okay, it's a machine. That means we can design it. Okay, so it's a machine that uses Pascal's principle, or works on the Pascal's principle and helps us and gives us the opportunity to multiply the force or multiply the effect of the force which you are applying on the fluid. Let us say this is an hydraulic jack. Example of a hydraulic jack where one limb is made of small area and the other limb is made up of large area. Why is it so? Let's rock and roll and explain. See, this is your input. Okay, let us say this is your output. And the area here being A output, AO, and the area being here AI, that is your A input, A output. Okay, so what Pascal's law said? It's a continuous medium. Yes sir, it's a continuous medium. Very good. It's a continuous medium. Okay, that means continuously mass has distributed, so the pressure at here and the pressure will be same. Thank God they say, Pascal say pressure is same and not the force. Okay, so the pressure at this input point will be the same at the pressure at the output point. Okay, so that means let me see here, the force applied, input force applied is Fn and the output force which came out is F output. Okay, F input and F output. What Pascal's law said? Sir, Pascal's law said Pn is equal to P out. That means force in by A input is equal to force at output by area at output. This implies force at output is nothing but ratio of the areas into force at input. So what is the force at output? Is the ratio of the areas of output to the input divided by multiplied by force at the input. What you are trying to say is, let us say on a given day I can lift 50 kilo. Okay, and I have made a hydraulic jack in such a way that the ratio of the areas are 40. Ratio of the areas are how much? 40. Can I do it? Of course, I am the one who is designing that. I can do whatever area things I need. Okay, so I have took the ratios of areas as 40 and how much weight I can lift? 50 on a given day. Okay, so keeping this in mind, if my ratio of areas is 40 and the applied force is 50, like I can lift 50, hence my F output using this hydraulic jack is how much? 50 times the 40. My goodness, that is 2000 kilo. Wow, means now I can lift a car. See, Superman, Batman, whoever there, we are engineers. Okay, we can literally design these things, we make things simpler. So even if I cannot lift a car by my own hand, I'll use a machine which is known as hydraulic jack and I'll lift a car by using the same pressure, same force. How much? 50 kilo. Just I'm using 50 kilo and I'm lifting a car. Isn't it that amazing? That means what? Okay, this is how a car looks, right? My diagram has to be correct. So I can actually lift a car. Wow, that's fantastic. Sir, isn't it amazing? Yes. Then is there something wrong? See, there is nothing wrong. But you need to understand this. What you need to understand is, I can lift a car, but how much? कितना उठा सकता हूँ? Let us say I have to lift the car by 1 meter. The volume of the fluid which is passing from here and the volume of the fluid which is passing is same. The volume of the fluid is being the same. Volume of fluid is being the same. That means this has larger area. This is smaller area. Here I want to lift it by 1 meter. Here I have to lift it by 1 meter. That means this fluid I have to apply a pressure and it has to go to a depth more than 1 meter. Means what? I have to keep on applying my force continuously times. So many times I have to apply the force unless it goes and this, what do you call, my car or something, it lifts by 1 meter. 1 meter. So even if the Pascal's law is very much useful, but it does not violate the conservation of energy. It does not violate the conservation of energy, because you have to apply the force continuously, so many number of time in order to lift this by how much? 1 meter. So that's it. This is Pascal law for you guys. So today we have understood Pascal law. Next chapter is now going to be atmospheric pressure. Stay tuned, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe, like and share it with your friends. Thank you.